1.
Hi, my name's Stuart. I'm also known as Felix and Mars, and I'm going through some of my old back catalogue games. This first one is about Conker per Day, and this is the second part of that series.
Yeah, cash, right.
And so I've just picked up my cash there from Mrs. B. Now, of course we came from here earlier in the other episode. This was the starting point, and this is like in Banjo-Kazooie where there's Spiral Mountain. This is effectively the same thing. It's the hub to the rest of the storyline. So back up here, there's the wasp area, which you do get to go in again later on, right at the top. Goes up there. There's the war area that's much later in the game, but you can see it here. Down here, there's the entrance to the windmills at the top there. You can't get there at the moment. So we've kind of been led to go over here. It's not that obvious. Sort of confusing me about this. I think there's another section around here, but again that opens up later on. Oh, there's a trigger cutscene as well. So these are the scoured dung beetles. We'll see them a bit later on. Oh, I keep forgetting these guys come down so fast. I keep thinking they don't get triggered until you've done this next bit, but they actually do. Oh, here's Birdie again. He's going to explain more about the manual. Yeah, I kind of forgot that I needed the money for him. So we got $100, but we've got to give him a bit of money at this point. But it actually turns out that the money doesn't want to stay with him. So you do get it back.
How much?
It's a bit weird, right? Why is money able to make decisions like that? So, just speaking about consoles at the time, like the N64 and SNES, compared to modern consoles, they're really kind of hard wearing. Part of this is because they use the memory packs instead of CD drives, and so there's nothing like moving in them, unlike the Xbox 360, and I think also they tend to be a bit simpler, the hardware, the actual chips and stuff, and I think you can get hold of some of the chips still, so if you did need to repair them, they are still available, which seems a bit strange really, kind of old technology, but it tends that these things hang around because because they're reliable. Other devices tend to use them in the end. So let's go on. Oh, I've got to get rid of these guys first, actually. Now, I don't like the controls very much with some of this stuff here with the. Step through some more instructions. Let's skip this now. This just teaches you how to use this catapult. The N64 controller is a bit probably rubbish by today's standards. It was a bit of a funny design, so probably can't really see that small window, but also I think the game is just a bit harder to control when it comes to aiming and stuff. Stuff that we kind of has been smoothed out on modern games. It's a bit more ropey on this, a bit more resistant to moving. Sorry about that. So, let's try and get rid of these dung beetles, It's just about doable. Yeah, I feel kind of like I've got limited control over this. Compared to, I don't know, something a bit more modern. Yeah, this last one. No, he got me. Try again. Got him. Just need to let him get a bit closer. Now it's actually opened up the garden. We'll go there in a bit. But again, it's like, there's a cutscene and all, but I really can't tell what that is now. It's over here somewhere, but it's not very clear. You know, your vision's kind of a bit limited.
Let's see. That way or that way? That way smells a bit too.
I guess it does tell you now, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it seems so off to the side here, it doesn't seem like a main feature of the hub. But we'll go this way, we'll go the wrong way on purpose. Just because there's some interesting stuff over here before we get into the main game. So, there's a little sign on the door saying that this doorway won't open until 10, which there's no real time in the game. I mean, some games do have it, but it's just a bit jokey, basically. Once you've progressed enough in the game, you can come back here and go in there, but I think they decided to do it as a nod to, games where you've got actual in-game time. So this is Pooh Mountain that I'm walking near at the moment. And down here is another entrance to another area with the catfish and the catalogue in, which we might look at later. I don't know if we will. Certainly look at some of it later on, but possibly not all the area. I think the only area that we can't see from here necessarily is the caveman area. I think that actually comes up when you go into Pooh Mountain. That's the only entrance to it. So we'll just go up here because this is near the start of the game. This is actually a way to go to the end of the game, but I mean, there's all these signs here telling us no entry, basically. And you actually can't get any further than this. It's kind of weird that they bothered to put in, the end of the game, pretty much. The access to it, right at the start.
Is it safe, I wonder?
I don't think games really tend to do that today. It's interesting. And obviously, you can't get past this point once they get so far. I think that was actually meant to trigger a cutscene, but yeah, basically you can't get over anywhere. If you do manage to get too far, it sets you back. And there's a rope around here that I've got to find. It's so tiny. Oh, there we are. Look, it's so tiny, and it's so similarly coloured to the wall. I always miss it. This is some interesting tech, the rope's moving as I'm climbing it. In general, Conker's got a load of interesting animation systems on him, like his tail, but this is kind of interesting. This is probably like an arcade chain or something like that that's reacting to the physics as your little character's climbing up it. Kind of something that probably taken for granted now, but at the time it was quite advanced. And just having a look around. Something they add in the Xbox version is the fur shader. Obviously, there's no way the N64 is going to do that. But they did do some on the GameCube actually. They put some fur shaders on Dinosaur Planet, which was one of the last games that they did on the Nintendo consoles. So, let's go back this way and off towards the garden, shall we? You can go around this way. This top bit. Oh find out the Z end, but I can always drop off and go in here. Right, into the garden. So we're in the garden now. Right. Okay. So this bit always confuses me. Right, there's this water over here. So it looks like I should go this way. So I go this way and end up going by this flower every time, going right to the back. Now, I think this is actually the wrong way to go. Let's just go to this level anyway, just to show you a bit about it. Something here, an entranceway here, there's a doorway here. You know, it's leading me towards the back. I mean, I think that's what I'm doing. Oh no, it doesn't even interact with you. Right, that's even more weird, but that's pretty silly. Oh yeah, I'll just quickly talk about something while I'm up here. So, I've already opened it, naturally. I was hoping to get some tails even, twales, from this section. The tails are extra lives, basically. But I think it must only work like the first time that you play the game. So what you have to do is jump here and press the X button, and you'll turn into with weight and smash this. And under here are lots of secret tails, but as I said, one, they're not there for some reason. Two, I've already opened it in this playthrough. So let's go back, because yeah, this is a bit poorly signposted in terms of, you know, showing you where to go. This is why, one of my big complaints about this game, actually. I think I've already said it, to be honest, but, you know, I'm just going again, this isn't a well-designed game in terms of layouts, but a lot of the missions. So, because you've got to go over this water, and that's really crummy and horrible, why would you go over it? And again, there's a doorway here, so I can't get in there, or where I'm meant to go. Okay, so it's over here. This is the first mission. Why would I come over here? I mean, it's blocked up with a wall here. You know, you couldn't see around that corner, and there's some water over there. Why would you come here? But here we go, let's stop the cutscene, because it's certainly one of the weaker aspects of this game.
So many people around here wanting to solve that problem.
And to a degree, maybe not difficulty, as I said, but the fact that you sometimes have like really pixel perfect jumps to make, and then you fall, and there's fall damage on this, so you get really badly damaged.
Just mention my name, Jack, and everything will be just dandy.
Right, okay. So we've got some info there, and this annoying mouse is burping in his face, and his wife's decided to jump on him to avoid it. I don't know why metal blocks have, you know, sexes, but okay. But it's all a bit weird anyway, because, oh god, he just gassed me as well. I'm throwing up. Another nice touch. Well, depending how you look at it. So, there's also these blocks over here that are trying to crush you, right? So, this friendly block is trying to get me to, like, avoid these guys here that are trying to kill me. So why are some of them friendly and some of them not? And why am I to go that way to get this bit cheese around to the mouse? Okay, so go here, and then here. Actually, I don't need to do that. Let's go.
You must be Bert.
Talk to Bert.
I'm opening it.
Come on, Bert, open the door. You lazy git.
Everything you're trying to do.
Right, finally he's opened the door.
That's all you do? Great.
Yeah, nobody's helpful, everybody's trying to get something from me, Conker. It's a statement on life, and the big mailbox trying to push you as well. It's just like an indie game. Let's talk about indie games for a bit. I mean, I like some of them. Don't get me wrong, but I think some of them with their pretentious little messages I just can't get on with them really, because it's like they're trying to sell their own agenda. And at the end of the day, games are meant to be fun. It's fine to have an agenda of sorts, but if it's your main focus in a game, then, to be honest, that's kind of erring more towards, like, I don't know, an art type project. I mean, I often joke about starting artist syndrome for a lot of the indie developers, because they will literally use all their money. It's a bit cheese as well, by the way, if you didn't notice. They use all their money to like fund these projects, and then it ends up that only a handful of people actually get it, buy it, and then, you know, we get into these states about why did nobody enjoy my game, blah blah blah, and it's just like, well, if you got a particular message, and let's be honest now, most people aren't that smart to get it. Maybe this is why you're not going to make the millions from it. They're meant to be fun, as I said. If it's too serious, if it's too focused on an idea, then maybe you should, you know, accept it for what it is and do it as a small side project and not expect to make like millions out of it. The indies that's successful, while it's partly luck, I've also, you know, got a lot of contacts, and the games still, to a degree, you know, look at what the mass market's doing, intentionally or not, and that's why they sell. It's not because they've done anything particularly magical, but to a degree they have, because, you know, you've got to have that one great idea. What's this cheese keep running up? Frustrates me a bit. But yeah, I think that, you know, the reason they're successful is because they've got just everything in a line at that particular point. I don't think you can recapture these things, and a lot of free-to-play developers going about analytics and all this stuff. I don't think that works. I don't think you can capture lightning in a bottle. That's saying, sometimes things are just that particular time it works. Things like Minecraft are an example of that. You'd never be able to recreate it, and people keep trying to clone it. There's about a billion clones. But it's pointless. I mean, at this stage, you're never going to have a bigger hit again with that kind of idea. There are some people that have done okay about with like, sort of cloning it, but they tend to put their own, you know, uniqueness onto it. Oh, this cheese is going to escape again. It did escape. What? I'm not even sure why it keeps escaping. That's really frustrating. Right, I think I might actually skip this one because it's actually quite boring. It's like an opening mission. So let's spin on a bit. Oh, I've fed him the last bit of cheese now. I don't think I should have done that.
Oh no! I think I had too much!
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Oh dear. Sorry, mouse? Well, at least he got rid of him, right? Poor mouse. Oh, he's still alive. And his tail's still moving. Well, at least,
Couldn't have lasted a moment longer.
at least this has solved this
Thank you very
problem.
much, Mr. Squirrel. Now, there's something real neat inside.
I can get something really neat from inside the barn now.
Sonny.
Do you want to do this? So I'm going to go back and chat about the consoles at the time again a little bit. Not much here really to say, but one improvement that the N64 did have that the PlayStation didn't is that, well, you can see here that the polygons look very sort of crisp. If you look on the PlayStation games, you'll actually see seams and sometimes they'll sort of flicker. That's because the N64 has some hardware for polygon smoothing, and also the same with the textures. You'll often see really blocky textures on the PlayStation, even though they had probably better quality textures because they had more room. They were often sort of, I had mosaic-y type patterns on them, whereas these are kind of smoothed out, and again, that's like the technology of the N64. One last thing is, there's different lighting on the N64, which was used to kind of cover up the fact that the textures weren't that great. So again, it had some really good tech. It's just unfortunate that it didn't have enough, but maybe the memory and the space on the cartridge being so low. So I believe, oh, there's some money there. Let's go on. Cash prizes.
You want some great stuff?
There we go.
Yeah, I think the round's on me.
Yeah, you can
I'm
buy me
gonna
around.
get tanked tonight.
Okay, so I've sort of skimmed on a bit here into the interior of the barn that we were in. Well, we could view from the garden. Now we're inside it. So yeah, there's some more stuff out in that garden, but to be honest, a lot of it is like cheese and kind of a bit dull and not very interesting. So I have been in the barn before to actually gain access to this. You've got this bit where there's some bats trying to attack you, I think. You've got to sort of carefully go by on this little balancing act type thing. But now when you're inside, you find the pitchfork guy here, and the hot paint and paintbrush. So these are the characters introduced in this section. But basically there's this weird hay bale as well that's like a mini boss character, I guess. So you've got to get rid of him. So it's lucky you've got pitchfork guy. You can then use it to get rid of the hay or something. So just going to get onto the pitchfork now and ride him around. So now I've got bought him and I can use him as a weapon basically. Press the B button and then he does that leap move, and A is just a normal jump. Okay, so I want to get rid of this guy. For some reason it sets him on fire. I don't think that's what usually happens if you know, have a pitchfork and use it against straw, but never mind. Oh, it's going to be too close. He slapped me. Look at this chocolate here. And it's interesting, they've kind of got AI on the little pitchfork. He comes and tries to get to you. He loses you. I'll do it again now. Where is he? That's useful. Oh, he didn't like that. Yeah. Why is he a robot now? Basically, he is some sort of Terminator hay bale, which is, you know, unusual. It's not what you expect, is it really? I don't think this does anything. I think it might open the door. We've got to get rid of him first. Anyway, so he gets slapped. Let's try and get around behind him and not be looking at him basically. And not get slapped by him like constantly. Right, let's try again. Get on this thing. Where is it now? So I'm using the yellow buttons on the controller to kind of turn the camera, which is something I did in most of the games like this, the platformy, 3D platform games, because the cameras often aren't brilliant on these early games. And I kind of got used to like trying to adjust the camera and focus on what I was doing. No. Again. Now it starts to sort of break the ground. And you fall into like a different area. The instant loading into a new section without, you know, a loading screen or anything. That is definitely a positive of having stuff on like ROM. I suppose you could probably do it now if you had stuff on disk. You could have like a SD type thing in a way to sort of cache quite a section of the game. Because even installed games on like the current consoles seem to be quite slow. They still have to like load through like a drive or whatever. So you've got to get on this thing and run away from him as quick as possible. And this bit is quite tricky actually. I don't know if I'll do all of this. I'll try to give you an indication of the mission and what you were meant to do. Right, okay, so Conker's like got an injured leg. Again, there's like the cool little animation touches or whatever to give it a different dynamic. I mean, most games don't have character have changes in their health like this anyway, not visually, and the changing status, you know. They get a broken leg, it doesn't sort of suddenly start animating your character when you're actually playing as them with a broken leg. They'll often have it maybe in the cutscene and then suddenly you'll be okay when you're actually taking control. So that's how I call it a touch again for an older game. I've got to make him shoot some rockets. Oh, or is it just going near this one where it's leaking? Maybe he'll only fire his rockets when he needs to unlock the next section, basically. The cool effects of the flickering lights and the dangling wires are sparking. Got my head. Got my head. Getting to start slowly spinning around. Why does that not work? Oh, maybe I have to jump up and then press the context button. Very slowly as well. Go faster. Lucky there's respawning chocolates in this section. More way around here, so it should slip back in front of me. So I'm not going to go over there now, it's too late, so just wait for it. Come on. There we go. I've pressed his magic button and he loses an arm. What I've got to do now is try to... Suddenly that stopped leaking water. How does that happen? That's strange, isn't it? So we go over here to the next one. Shoot it. Coming over, up. And we hit the yeah, there he's got stunned again. And out we go. Back off of it, start spinning around. Sometimes it's annoying when you get too close to the register. Oh, that didn't work. Oh. Oh dear. That was a bit of a weird camera. I remember that. Come on. It's definitely in again. Now he backs off. Oh, there we go. Another game I might go through at some point is Jet Force Gemini. I kind of really enjoyed it, but I'm going to have to say this, I never actually completed it. I always got the mines off boss, found mines are too hard. Actually kill and complete the game. And he is just like the last thing you have to do in the game, and one of the reasons behind that is that he's got a ridiculous moveset. Whereas if he does something in 3 times in a row, he'll absolutely, wipe your character out, basically. And even then, even if he does it like twice or once, it takes off like a third of your health. And some of the other moves are pretty nasty to avoid as well. So I never actually managed to complete that. It's a bit of a shame really. If they'd made it a little bit easier on that final boss, it would have meant that I think more people would have completed it. I certainly would have. It's a tricky game. Well, it's a tricky boss to complete.
We definitely showed him that.
And mostly because of a random move which happens far too often.
Where's he gone?
I know, something's happened to Frankie. It's such a sad moment.
Mr. Screw, I think I forgot her. You don't look too good. You'll be alright. What do you mean, alright? Look at me!
It's lucky you're in an anonymous object with eyes and mouth. You can be fixed.
Oh, you'll be alright. Come on.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I got an idea. Okay. see.
I wonder if it's duct tape they're using. What do you think?
There you go. Good as new. It's waterproof, though, right? But it ain't so bad after all. What do you think? Yeah, that's great. What do you mean? Oh, that's great. No, thank you, Mrs. Squirrel. I think that of all the people in the world I've ever met, you has got to be the most generous, kindest, nicest, loveliest girl.
He's getting a crush on Conker.
No need to get sentimental. Anyway, we gotta find a way out of here now. Yeah, you could be right.
Okay, now the water's going to fill up in here, so I've got to try and escape. We'll see how well that goes. It might just be another fade to black, and then we'll go to like one of the other bosses or another section.
Oh well, but I better start swimming.
But again, it's cool that they have this rising water, you know.
Better be quick.
Amount of things that kind of added to the game to kind of make it fun and interesting, and all the sections to be, you know, very different, actual different gameplay experiences throughout. I believe I've got to press B here. Oh no, I don't know how hard this is. So now you get a throwing knife, and what you got to do is kind of hit those wires. Oh, that's one. I believe there's like more than one that you have to hit though. I think I'll keep going for now. Oh no, no, that was a bad thing to do. There must be wire touching something. Yeah, this is the problem. There's like a couple of wires you have to knock out, else it just keeps happening. And sometimes it's you try to like hit later wires to try to avoid having to do them later, which is what I was trying to do. Let's try this one more time. And if not, I'll just carry on to another section, probably outside the garden and onto the Pooh Mountain, I think. Actually, I might have a little cut in between and actually show you stuff like the memory pack that was on the N64, because some people might not have seen it, and it's kind of like an interesting feature or addition to the console. Yeah, hit that one. Just how I see over here, unless it's like behind me. Oh, it's right behind me, isn't it? Yeah, this was what was annoying. It's not sometimes immediately obvious where. Oh no, there's still another one somewhere. Where is it safe now? No, it's not safe. Okay. Well, there we go. I'm gonna now must have missed the wire. Let's just skim forwards, and I'll show you the memory pack in the console, and then I'll actually go on to the Pooh Mountain. So I unplugged the console. Now there was a little bit of plastic that just clipped in that was covering it, and originally this would have just been like a blank bit of plastic that you could take out. Now they gave you a little tool to like lift it out, and also to insert the new memory pack. Now the memory pack was essentially just like a bit of a smaller cartridge with the memory on it. So it shows that they already had designed this, and you know, to give you the cheaper option, they gave you less memory on the actual console, and then you could extend it. Now it didn't really work out, and in the end, I think they started bundling it with the games, because obviously people weren't really wanting to buy a separate thing to expand the console itself. Now, of course, it was only 4 meg, and it made the console then 8 meg altogether. So, basically, you know, when we talk about PCs, I mean, PCs at the time probably had a lot more than that. I mean, I think maybe about 6 years beforehand, I might have had a computer that wasn't more than 4 meg or 8 meg, but certainly it went up 16, 32, 64 very quickly, and then it got into gigs. I mean, you can't get a machine with like less than about 8 gig now if you actually really want to run like proper stuff on it, you know, like games. And obviously 16 gigs kind of good, and it goes up to 32, 64 beyond that. I mean, we're talking like an exponential increase there. But obviously now we're not interested about getting that on computers even. We're trying to get it on like mobile devices, and that's where things are going. But I thought that was a kind of interesting to show you the actual expansion itself. Okay, I'm going to carry on with the rest of the Conker's video. So I'm going to skip really quite far ahead now, because there's other sections afterwards where you have to go back to that poo cabin. Got this section with the bull, where you have to get the bull to ram these cows, and that somehow powers the doorway to open to the next section. Don't ask me how. But I'm going to go right ahead. That's all right. Probably to the Great Balls of Poo. Hopefully see. Oh, there's Kazooie as a umbrella stand there.
Yeah, there it is. Over there. Big ball of poo. Oh, thanks. You know, so it makes... thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I love a poo ball. Cheers. So this is the beginning of one of the more memorable parts of the game, which gets shown quite a lot actually, but what the heck, we're going to do it now. So, basically I'll quickly show you this before I roll this too far. There's a boarded up entrance here that you can't get in. So the first thing you have to do is remove like a dung beetle a giant dung beetle that's in the way. So I've got to roll it this way. Again, I mean, the poo ball comes out there, but how am I meant to know to roll it around here unless I've played it at least once? There's some interesting tech going on here, because obviously the ball, as you push it, tends to resize. I don't know exactly how they do it. I'm guessing there must be like a scale over time. As you're pushing it, the time increases and it gets bigger. I mean, there could be a trigger on it. I don't really know how they did it, but I'd be interested to know how. But it's probably one of those two things that I just described. That's how I would do it. So, let's get rid of this dung beetle. Now, a lot of the characters in Conker's Birthday and Rare Games in general, they have like a lot of voice acting, which is just generally from the other people in the studio. So you get people with, accents from all around the UK, which is kind of neat, but not something that you get very often now in games, because normally you hire voice actors, and it's normally almost certainly American ones. But there should be more, multi-language voice actors, I guess. I guess for the specific languages they can't help it. So, you have to have it in the right language, but it would be nice to have different accents and things in games a bit more. Especially ones from the UK. Now, the dung beetles are from Liverpool, so they've got a Scouse accent. Well, they get, that's a city up north, and they do get a bit of a stick for being a bit rough and stuff like this, but Well, everywhere was a bit rough and ready, especially when I was growing up. I went to Teesside Uni, which is up north, and was pretty rough, but I think in the 80s and 90s, before I went to uni, by the way, things were a bit more rough and ready all around the world, basically, you know. Laws have been brought in to protect people, and quite a bit of monitoring and security that's around nowadays that wasn't back then. Some of it's good, you know, there's definitely a need to keep an eye on criminals here and try to educate people, but only goes so far. And I mean, there's been a lot of talk about privacy recently, and it's something you've got to be careful with, because obviously there are people that say, you know, if you've got nothing to hide and all this, but only works so well so far. I mean, governments are meant to be there to, you know, look after your best interests, but really that's their secondary concern. They're there to look after themselves. And while the government may not appear to be corrupt at first, there's a kind of danger that somebody corrupt could get in, or somebody corrupt, very corrupt, could get in, and then suddenly all those bits of information they have on you could be manipulated to land you in a lot of trouble, for instance. I mean, you could end up in jail or worse from something you said that they now see as a threat and decided that's a new law. So just be careful what you wish for when it comes to privacy. Now, we're up in Pooh Mountain, so it's another cutscene. I mean, you should, you know, really do what you want, what you think is best. Don't let anybody tell you what they think is best. I mean, otherwise you'd be just another sheep, or maybe a dung beetle.
Okay. That all started about 2 days ago. It was me and the lads.
I know, it wasn't very good, was it?
The next thing we know, Chaz is gone.
So, yeah.
We couldn't find him. We thought,
A bit of philosophy and a bit of security.
Basil was next. He was just walking along, minding his own business.
Yeah, I mean, some people need to be monitored, but not everyone, you know what I'm saying. Well, not everyone to a degree where it becomes a manipulation of your personal thoughts.
Why do you hate this? When I came out, it was all clear. The lads are gone. The bastards have nailed me in. I'm out of here.
He's been nailed in. I wonder why he's been nailed in.
See us.
So we're inside the Pooh Mountain, as I said. A bit of a strange place inside the Pooh Mountain. There is sweet corn for a start, which looks remarkably like cheese, but with a different texture, right? Almost like they reused the models. So, let's get in. Oh, that's weird. That sweet corn got knocked over by a giant hand. Oh. Watch that giant hand. Oh. Do it again. If I can get the sweet corn knocked over right. Oh. I'm going to try and use it to do some of the work for me. Oh. You got one. Yeah. Take it over here, I think. Throw it in. Something strange is going on here. Totally rip off the jaws or something, right? Oh, That bloody hand's back. Right, let's get away from that. I think we'll both go find some more sweet corn, you know. This area is a bit dangerous, even without the boss character that we're going to play against. Oh, there's that. I think he got hit by the poo. You can sort of see the shadow, and if you know past it, then you're okay. Oh, another one. But, oh, some more sweet corn here. So, I mean, there were a couple of games that Rare worked on that never saw the light of day, but there was actually one game before Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was planned, which is pretty much the same, well, not the same game, but certainly they were designing it as more of a kid-friendly game, and that's the Conker's 12 Tales, which was the game that they were sort of developing previous to this, which has been mentioned in some media already. I remember getting a magazine and talking about 12 Tales, but basically it looked, well, obviously quite a lot different from Conker's Bad Fur Day, but the design of Conker remained pretty similar. They have updated his mesh quite a lot. It's a lot more detailed than it was in 12 Tales. But yeah, Rare seemingly had this talent for saying they were going to do one thing and then not hearing ages, and then a completely different game came out. I think they kind of did that with GoldenEye as well. That was not exactly what was planned. They didn't, they don't go for like designing a game and just bring it out. You have quite a lot of iteration, it seems, on their original games, which is fine for the time. I mean, they were a bit, games were a bit smaller and the team was a bit more focused with having less people in it, so they could get away with redesigning it and probably not costing millions to redesign it. Well, now you have so many people, you've got to pay them all. If you have to redesign halfway through, then you're kind of in trouble. Unless you then kept your team very small, and that isn't really the way that you can design modern games, unfortunately. Unless you're a small indie, then you still do maybe have a bit more freeform with how you design things. But sometimes it doesn't actually work out too well either. I mean, they did some kind of a talent for making, games that had a lot of detail and a lot of polish for back then anyway. Loads of options in these games, as I said earlier when we were looking at the multiplayer stuff. Right, I think once I get this last bit of sweet corn in, it will trigger the boss. I'll leave it a surprise for people that don't know, but I think most people know what's coming next. One of the best bosses in a video game ever. Well, one of the most grossest bosses ever in a video game. There we go. Boss got chocolate already. Far more than I wanted to. Here we go. Something strange is happening. Here he comes. The great mighty poo. Yep, that's right. You've been collecting all the sweet corn for a big giant poo.
I am the great mighty poo.
I've seen going on the bottom. I gonna guess that gave him a lot of trouble, because subtitles are always a bit difficult to do in games, to be honest. Believe it or not. And having something like animated above it, I do wonder how hard that all was for them back in 2000. I can imagine it would be quite a lot of work. Doesn't seem like it should be, right? Alright, let's get away from him for now. Let's grab some chocolate. I'm going to have to try and take it a bit easy, because this is actually quite tough and difficult boss. Now he throws food at you as well, so be careful here. I think I might have missed my chance. No, didn't. Cool. So I got some toilet roll into Mighty Pooh's mouth. That, for some reason, slows him down.
Do you really think you'll survive in here? You don't seem to know which street you're in. Sweet corn is the only thing that makes it through my rear. How do you think I keep this lovely grin?
That's more caviar.
Lens flare there. Now I've got to get away from him, so I'll run back this way. I've got a problem with that camera again. The camera always makes these games a bit tricky. Whoa! That was close. I nearly got whacked. Get away. I might have done this a bit too early. Yeah, I did. Oh, that didn't trigger it. Oh, missed it. Oh, that was really unlucky. Oh no, got one in. So he's gonna spit out a load of toilet paper again and probably get a bit angry again. So we'll run around for this bit. Whoa! Another one. Probably the last one. Oh, I got hit by it. God damn it. Okay. There we are. That's another one in. Get some more so, they were saying in one of these playthroughs, the Actual Developers did a playthrough of some of this, and they were saying that like in the Xbox version. So you can probably see by now the glass is breaking in the background. Let's move on again. And every time you complete a section, these get covered over, so you have to keep moving basically. Trying to all this stuff and make it. Oh, it's just made it there. That's another problem. That gap is kind of a bit tight, isn't it? No. And he's getting much faster amount of time to actually get one in his goal is reduced. I got one in, I was a bit lucky. Just clipped it really. I think it was a bit lucky that it gave me that one. Oh, what's happening with the camera? It's slightly tilting there. It's a bit strange. Bloody hell. There we go again. So I might as well just wait here actually, because he normally travels to each one in turn. Oh, what? Oh, he didn't. There we go, another one in. The camera is annoying, it's spinning around on me. just get some more chocolate just in case. This is kind of tricky. Well, I think it's the last one, right? So it's sort of avoiding really. Or where he throws the poo. Oh. There we go. That should be it. Yeah, get out of it. And now he's gonna hit his high note. And what this does is it fully breaks the glass. And reveals like something that looks, I don't know, maybe on it. Right, I've got to be careful here because half the time I do this and I end up not being able to see where the poo mound is and fall off. So this. Oh, pretty tricky. Pretty tricky situation. And here. Oh, yeah, camera, come on. That's better. Oh. Okay. So we're going to grab the money and we're also going to pull the plunger on him. This is another thing to talk about just quickly. I mean, he's got that animation on his eyes. Sounds like it turns into the spinny sort of dollar signs. But I've also noticed, there is kind of some detailed character animation on him constantly, and if you move the camera around, sometimes he sort of starts looking where the camera is. Again, I'm not sure if it's just a randomness and it just happens to look that way, or if they actually have it follow the camera sometimes. I think they do actually have it follow the camera just occasionally. And then go back to normal animation. That's kind of cool. Right, let's get rid of him once and for all, shall we? Let's flush him. Pull the flusher.
Look what you've done! I'm blushing!
Get out of it.
What the world! Who would have thought a good little squirrel
That's
like
that
you
boss
could
done.
destroy my
For good.
beautiful plaggyness? Oh, I'm going! No!
He makes flush tears, right?
Now that's what I call a bowel movement.
Right. And something opens up to another section. I don't know if I'll actually do that now. I think I'll move on, but I'll just go down here and actually get into it. We can kind of wrap this up. I think if you drop down and don't actually go in the doorway that opens, then you just end up back in the room with all the cows. Do you die? I can't remember. No, I think you do end up back down here, yeah. Okay, on to the next section now. And see which area of the game we're going to play next. Okay, that's the end of the second part of this series. It's going to be a final one, and then I've got to decide what the games do. But you have to skim forward to the next video, and I'll see you next time.